Oh, he sees it, he sees it, he sees it. Yep, there we go. Oh, there's two. He's like literally underneath the hole. There he goes. Oh, geez, hit it on the drop. Something. Yep, geez, that did not take long. He looks aggressive. Yep, he looks aggressive. Oh, Lakers are the best. We've got the trailer loaded up. We have the snowmobile. We have the flip over shelter packed up for some ice camping because me and my buddies Kyle and Jeff, we're going on a little adventure. We're going to be going miles into the Canadian wilderness, and I'm not really sure 100% what this trip is going to look like. I know we're going to be doing some ice camping, and I know that this lake has giant lake trout and giant walleyes, so I'm assuming we're going to be targeting lake trout most of the day and maybe doing a little walleye stuff if we find something in the low light period. So either way, it's going to be an adventure, and we're going to have a lot of fun, and it does look like they're taking off already, so I better catch up. We'll see you at the lake. Well, we officially made it to where we were parking and unloading, and I don't know how much you can see, hopefully not too much, but I am an absolute mess. But if you know anything about ice camping, it takes a lot of gear and takes a lot of organization. So I've got some work to do. So I'm gonna get regrouped here, and then finally gonna be going and chasing some lake trout. This enclosed trailer has been such a lifesaver. Got to give a shout out to my sponsor, Dwight Schrute with Schrute Farms. All right, so a couple things that are super helpful when you're going on some of these longer trips is something to securely hold your auger, obviously navigation device, rod storage, make sure your live scope is good and safe. This is with my Arclab Shuttle, and I actually have a quick dock plate and it's mounted with the bag on there. You can see I have rod storage, that kind of stuff here. This is a little just extra flap that I made to help block a little bit more snow going back there. I have two straps you can see right here, just helping to secure everything down. That's just with a couple little eye bolts that I mounted onto there. You can see I have it daisy chained to another sled, and that is just with another little mounting accessory from Otter right there. So I can be able to carry a lot of gear like this, pretty weighted down. Gonna bring an extra gas can, but overall we are very close to being ready to rock. Oh, what's the word? That's a weird one. We made it! We made it! YouTube world, this is Kyle and Jeff. They're two of the best 3 fishermen on this trip. Well, we made it, and it feels so darn good. So now I got to get set up for fishing. We're gonna do a little bit of lake trout action here, kind of find a spot to camp as well. We got a few hours here before it's gonna get dark, so I'm gonna get set up for fishing, and hopefully next time you'll see me, we'll have a trout come in. Oh, he sees it, he sees it, he sees it. Yep. There we go, first trout of the trip. I was just dealing with all this crap. So fun. It's actually an okay one too. Oh, I'll try to dip them off here. Whew. I don't know what the light's like, but we have our first trout of the trip, and it just crushed it. Oh, that was fun. There's definitely fish here, so I might go get my sled to go set up, maybe even set up shop. We'll see. All right, well, we are back. Everything is very cold. We have a north wind coming out. It's gonna drop down to like 10, 15 below tonight. I'm not setting up camp just yet. As you can see, I'm actually sitting on my bed. But I just wanted to get where it's a little more comfortable, where my cameras aren't freezing, where my rod wasn't freezing. Because one thing I've learned about trout is they kind of do the opposite of walleyes, where they're a lot of times like your midday feeders. And so I didn't want to take time completely setting up. I just wanted to get a line in the water for this last little bit so we can hopefully capitalize on at least one more trout before setting up. Oh geez, I was sitting here not even paying attention and I was seeing one out. Jeez. Oh, lake trout are the coolest. I don't think it's crazy big. Oh my gosh. that Carbonex 2000. I do upgrade to 2000 or maybe even 3000 size reels for some of these Lakers, just because for line purposes, you're fishing deep water. I do a little bit heavier pound braid. Oh, there's another good one coming. You can see that one at 65 feet. Oh, see if I can get this one in and out and get down in time. Oh, that other one looks bigger. That other one, ooh, I don't know, they both, oh, Lakers are so fun. See if we can get his head up here. Get it directed. Come on. This bottom of the hole is so sketch. There, we're getting his head up. It's one thing to get the head up, it's another thing to get it out of the water. Woo. There we go. Wow, 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 wow. Oh my gosh, look at that. Just barely. I don't know how well this is focusing right now because everything is frozen. Just barely. But a nice, sweet trout. Definitely gonna set up camp here because there is fish around. Oh. All right, so the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna get your snow moved. Get your space kind of shoveled down to the ice. Oh. Probably pretty bright, so who knows what you're seeing. All right, once you finish shoveling the snow, then I'll get my floor set up kind of where I want it, and then I'll use the auger and just drill down a little bit to kind of mark my holes. Then I'll move my floor again, finish drilling out the holes, then I'll shovel the rest of the snow and the slush out, kind of clear out the holes, put my floor back, make sure it's lined up. Then I'll move as much stuff onto my floor as I can before I flip my house over so I don't have to go in and out of the door like that. I do like to put my heater on the milk crate. That way I can kind of keep it up off the floor so that way it doesn't melt the floor down to the ice. Then once I have everything moved into the house, then I'll flip the house over. Make sure to bank your house good with snow and make sure you're using the good snow, not any of the slush, otherwise your house will be frozen down when you leave. Well, we are finally set up here and I'm currently cooking some burgers. I know I'm gonna get some questions, so just wanna say I'm not gonna be doing a full run through of kind of like my setup for this because I just did that in my last video or a couple videos ago. So I'll put that one in the description below if you're interested. But being able to sleep and set up in the flip over like this is so much quicker and easier. All right, nice little burger, nice hot meal on the ice. Like I said in my last video, oh, there's just something about that hot meal when you're out on the ice that just hits home. All right, so that burger went down so good, I am making another one. And so while that one's cooking, I'm just gonna talk through a little bit about why I'm set up where I'm set up. And essentially what this is there's the mainland over here, there's an island over here, and there's kind of like a shallow flat, I think it's like 20, 15 feet in between there, kind of like a little saddle. This is where it kind of opens up and it's just a very slow gradual drop. At some spots it flattens out a little bit, and so it kind of seems to just be a natural funnel and a natural runway for bait. And then obviously if the bait is going through there, those trout are going through there. But for whatever reason, I've had a lot of really good success at kind of like those openings. It's kind of like an inside turn, but using something like islands or kind of narrows going into another bay, being able to use these areas almost like a feeding flat. And yeah, I'm gonna finish up eating, head to bed. We'll see you with a rattle reel or in the morning. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Whoa! We are already hooked up. I literally just got all the cameras and everything recording. It is 7:22. Actually a little early for what lake trout typically do. I was just sending my wife a text. Also, thank goodness for the satellite texting with our newborn. I just want to keep checking in, seeing how things are going. And all of a sudden I look down and there's a mark on there. Ooh, he is doing the edge of the hole thing. Let's see if we can get his head up the hole. Actually, I think it's okay. That's another okay fish. The average, oh, that's not ideal. I have water everywhere. Whoa, I'll just hold her up there. You bet. First trout for the morning already, 7:22. That makes me hopeful. We're gonna send that guy. Woo, woo, woo. Right back down. Everything is wet. But I will take it if that means we get a trout. One thing that I highly recommend doing if you're on waters that allows it, a lot of times we don't fish waters that you can, but it's just putting a little chunk of some, I don't know if that's focusing, some Cisco belly on there. That can definitely help just give a little flavor down there when they're chasing. Right over there you can see that's a little group of bait. It's kind of roaming around, and that's probably what is kind of congregating around this area and what's drawing these fish in. I don't know if that's Cisco's or what it might be, but that's my assumption. And I've been seeing pods of bait like that every once in a while. And so anytime you're trout fishing, if you're seeing pods of bait, pods of Cisco's, that is definitely a good place to try, because more often than not, those trout are going to be around sometime soon. Ooh, that's a long fish. See, that one's a little closer to bottom, but it's moving more like a trout. It's just moving a little bit quicker. That one definitely looks longer. Oh, he's heading this direction. Keep coming. Yep, he sees it. He's vertical. Oh no. Drop it past him. Pound it in the mud a little bit. Drop down again. Come on. Oh, he bit it. He bit it off bottom a little bit, so I'm going to drop it down there. Oh, he had it again. Oh, he had it again. Oh no. Hooked up in my tip up. Oh, he's liking it on bottom. Drop it down again. Oh, I'm a yard sale. Oh, he likes it right on bottom like that. I'm just going to keep touching it on bottom. There he is. He just wanted it on bottom. Oh, that was so cool. I even have my slow-mo cam recording for that hook set. Oh, there's a second trout. Second trout. This guy's burping. Oh, he's not fighting crazy aggressive though. He looked longer on there. Whoop, there's the lake trout. Woo! That's the lake trout that we love. Whew. Come on. Now he's getting more feisty once we get to the bottom of the hole. Whoa, he came right up. I'm just gonna pull him in. Not probably the best way to do it, but he starts swimming up. Oh, there's another decent one. This guy just wanted it sitting right on bottom. Get him untangled there. Show it off to this camera. I'm gonna show it off to this one too. Show it off to that slow-mo. So cool. Ooh, lots of wet. Alright, so it is about 9:15 right now. It's been about an hour since we've had a bite, seen a fish. So I'm actually going to be packing up. I have a tough time just sitting around when I'm lake trout fishing. Honestly, this might be one of the first times I've fished in the house for lake trout fishing. I like to run and gun, so that's what we're going to do. Run around for a few hours before that snow and wind picks up, and then maybe come back, have some lunch, and kind of game plan for the evening. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh shoot, swung and missed. As you can see, I'm getting my bibs on and everything. Yep. See if he'll go down the bottom with it. Oh, there you like that though. Jeez, he's screaming in. That time he screamed in. Man, and he is like right here. Wow, I am glad. I was just thinking like I should just shut off the cameras. I am glad I did not do that. Oh man. Oh no. Gotta scoop him. That was probably not worth it for a trout this size. Oh no. My hook went through the window. I am a zoo. Whoa. Get off of there. Okay. I am a zoo. I have... Oh man. Now he's between my legs. Well, I hope you're getting some entertainment value out of this. Little trout. Right here. We're gonna let that guy go. Oh my gosh. My mic is right here. If you can see right now, one boot on, one boot off. My arm is soaked. All for that relatively small trout. I'm gonna finish getting ready, and then we're gonna be out chasing some fish outside. Oh jeez. I was just, my pole was freezing up. Oh my goodness. So I was just swinging it back and forth trying to loosen it up. And sure enough, this one does not feel big. Decent though. Sure enough, we have a trout. I'm just gonna pull it up because I do not want to get my gloves wet again. One more quick look. Ooh, it is bleeding, so we're gonna get it right back down. And actually, as I pan around, I can almost see a little bit of a hump over there, or at least something that comes up. So I like that. I'm gonna go try and get a little closer to that. All right, so let's take a look. There's some good boulders. I just want to pan around and see. Yeah, kind of got these nice high and low spots. Yeah, it drops off good there. Couple little high spots. I actually kind of like where I'm at here. It looks like a little saddle in between. Kind of a neat little spot. Thing is, at this depth, these fish that show up, they're gonna show up quickly. So even if I'm paying attention, I might get blindsided. Check, 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 check. My mic's not working anymore over there.
Oh yeah.
Lots of fish.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Oh, 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 oh.
Oh, that's a big boy.
Oh, there's two.
Got him.
There's two. Oh, did he eat it on the way down?
I think so.
Ah, he did. Oh my gosh, everything's frozen.
Oh, he hit it?
No, he didn't. It was my thing was caught on the snow. Ah, everything's frozen. Oh my gosh, he's coming back already.
He's after it. There.
No, Kyle, it's on ice. He's like literally underneath the hole. There he goes. Oh my gosh. My bail is frozen. Yeah, do you want to get that? Oh, he's like gonna be here in like 2 seconds. Decent one too.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. There, I'll just grab him by the tail. Oh my gosh. Oh, these guys are not liking it right now. My audio is not working. Whoa. Everything's frozen. Cameras are frozen. Oh, we are going to pop this one off. Get it back. Two of those. We were just talking with Kyle, and we're like, if one comes in, oh my gosh. There we go. If one comes in, it's gonna be right there because it's shallow water. Found this like little point that's not really on the map. It's like a little point, flats off to the side. And yeah, I like fishing that structure because the fish seem to be aggressive, and I tend to find a little bit bigger fish too. Kyle was just overfishing kind of like a steep break, right?
Yep.
Fishing a steep break on that point, and he had like 6 interactions, caught a couple in a pretty short amount of time. So when they get in the area, man, they can be aggressive. But I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be out doing this because my mics aren't working, things are dying, my pole's getting frozen. Better turn that off.
Boots are frozen.
Boots are frozen. It's the saving grace right now is it's not windy, but that wind is gonna be picking up. So who knows? You might see me back in the house next time. Well, as you can see, we are back in the house. It is cold, although not cold enough where it's unfishable. Truthfully, if I wasn't filming, I would be kind of running and gunning. That's my favorite thing to do. So I'm a little disappointed, but these are just some of the things that go along with filming. Gonna regroup, cook some lunch here. I think we're gonna have a little soup and some leftover pizza. That is one little, another tip hack. If you're going out fishing, one of my favorite things and easiest things to do is cook a pizza the night before and just cut it up, save all the pieces. You can eat it cold. I'm gonna warm it up here. Very easy thing to do for lunch. That's still actually like real food. Another little tip, put as much as you can in little plastic bags like this. This is my, bowls and plates. If these were to get wet outside of a plastic bag, they're going to be unusable, but like put all these little things. I have a bunch of extra Ziploc bags, a bunch of extra plastic bags, you can use them for garbages or whatever. It's just one of those little things that can make a big difference in a trip like this. A little clam chowder soup, a little bit of pizza. If I can't be out running and gunning, at least I can be warm and eating good food.
All right, I can't handle it anymore. I fished inside for about half an hour to an hour, not seeing anything. I'm gonna go out, give it another try. Hopefully we'll get some decent audio and catch some fish.
Oh. I was seeing something. Yep, geez, that did not take long. We've got the backup mic on. We are back rolling. You can see I'm on a pretty good break here. There's actually another break that's out a little deeper. We're already hooked up with our first trout. It was a grind in the house. Oh, this guy's a chunk. Oop. Don't go back down. I don't want to get this glove wet too. Oh. Well. I took my glove off, he flipped down. I hope you're at least able to see that in the head cam. But like I was saying, as I'm wearing my hands, you can see there's kind of a steep break, and then it drops off to a little bit of a shelf. And then right underneath us is a very steep break. That one kind of came out of that 35-foot range, almost straight that way. There's a little island over there. Actually not far from where we set up camp, just off the point of that island. Oh, one coming up towards me. There we go. Show it off right here. Ooh, we got another decent one down there. There we go. That one like showed up out of nowhere. We're just gonna pull him in. Show him off right there. Ooh, yeah. Sweet, Kyle, one's coming behind you. Oh yeah, he's on ya. There's two of them. I would scoop some of that ice out, but I am not that good of a friend.
Got it.
It's an okay one.
26.
Show him off right there. Nice fish, Kyle. Ooh, yeah. Sweet. Well, as you can see, we are back in the house. Kind of a fun little flurry there between me and Kyle. Although I might have lost some of the live scope footage. My SD card got bumped, so I'm not sure if it's gonna save or not. But either way, fun action right before that storm, kind of snowstorm here rolled in. Snowing pretty good, and so we're gonna kind of camp out for the night. However, my buddy Kyle did convince us to have a little bonfire here to kind of celebrate our last night in camp, and then tomorrow looks like really nice weather. It is going to be relatively calm. It is going to be the warmest day we've had, and so we're gonna take advantage. We're gonna enjoy tonight with the fire, and then we're gonna hit it hard tomorrow before we have to go. Well, we are back out for one final morning. We've got double mics. We've got things taken care of because hopefully we won't have any more issues. But today, it's not quite as nice as I was anticipating, although that was a 2-day-old forecast that I was looking at because we don't have service up here. But a little bit windier, and we still got some snow. So it's not gonna be super ideal conditions, but we're gonna be able to run and gun, and that's the plan. We're gonna check out a bunch of different structure. I'm starting out kind of on that edge of that rock reef, rock point that I found yesterday. I really like that kind of stuff, especially for low light periods. And so yeah, we might start out a little bit off the edge, we might start out on top, and then we're gonna go just explore some new stuff. Oop. First trout of the day, I was just getting ice off my line. Oh, he swung and missed. He bit right underneath the hole. Bit right underneath the hole. Lake trout are the coolest. He didn't seem very big. And when he bites so close like that, sometimes they don't, woo! Yeah, this guy is probably the smallest of the trip for me. We've not had many small ones, like under 20. They've all been kind of in that mid 20-inch-ish range. Oh yeah, this guy's a little guy. Pretty though. Definitely the smallest of the trip. But we have a start to this day. Probably saw, I was just putting my mouth on the line. If you've been out fishing outside and got a bunch of line freeze, you know, that's one of the best ways is to warm it up with your mouth and get that line off. So it probably looked really goofy. So if you don't fish outside a lot, you're probably wondering what the heck I was doing. But if you do fish outside a lot, you know exactly what I was doing. All right, haven't seen anything for a little while, so we are going to move. Yeah, that's what you're looking for right there. Oh, that was the coolest. There was all that bait and there was this trout just hanging underneath it. And I was just kind of watching it, and finally it just decided, it just shot up into that bait and that bait just scattered. So cool. Jeff, there does look like to be a decent little 70 to 80 feet. There's a bunch of rocks and stuff, like boulders. And then it looks like there's a pretty good drop on the other side of it. Hey!
The cool thing is this thing didn't even hesitate. It just came off the bottom.
That's awesome.
Got my line down there.
How deep did it end up being here?
53.
Oh, it is deeper. That's an okay trout. About par for the course for the trip, it seems. Nice fish though.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's fun.
We'll take it. Hasn't been a hot and heavy start to the morning, but woo! Nice fish. Oh, geez, hit it on the drop. Jeez, just came in and smoked it on the drop. There he's burping. Oh. Drag's a touch loose. Oh, those Lakers have so much fight in them. It's getting close.
It's a pretty decent fishing, eh?
Yeah, we'll see, hopefully. Oh, I thought we had it for a second. There we go. You don't have to grab it, Jeff. That's fine. I can get it too. I just don't want you getting your hands frozen and wet. Oh, there we go. Like I said, a lot of these are just quality. Oh. There we go, right there. Ooh, get that situated a little better. There we go. These trout, this one's a little more plump. A lot of these trout are just nice in that 24 to 30 inch range. Sweet, so fun. That's the thing about trout, is they can literally just show up at any second. You know, I was just sitting there jigging. That one just smoked it on the drop. Came from a little bit deeper water. And yeah, she was hungry. One down on bottom here. See if we can get down to it. Oh yeah, he looks aggressive. Yep, he looks aggressive. Was just about to leave. And then I just was gonna pan around one more time, and sure enough, I saw this one roaming on bottom. I love lake trout. Ooh, maybe he's a little better. He's fighting better. I want to be able to see that head. Oh yeah, that's the biggest of the trip for me, I think.
I don't know if you want to add or not.
We'll see. If I can get his head up. Ah, come on. It's like so close. His head's right there. There we go. Not as big as I was seeing right away, but still decent. Oh, he has it choked too. Which will make it better trying to get this guy out. Not as big as I was thinking, but do you want to grab that bump board real quick? Oh, so nice having the pliers right next to us. Oh, yeah, I think this is the biggest of the trip. I think so. It's gonna be close at least. Just touching 30. Little belly on him there. Sweet fish. Get that one back down. Oh man. Sweet. Thanks for the help. Couple things that can be very important is one, having all your gear set up. You know, if you've seen my sled walkthrough, you see how I have it kind of set up to be run and gun. My live scope's right here. I have my rod holders on this side, and then I'm able to just have everything right there. I have my big pliers, I have an ice scoop, rod holders, extra rods. I have kind of everything that I need right here, especially if it's any bit cold, kind of like it has been. It's much warmer today than it was yesterday. But still, wanting to get these fish in and out quickly. I do also recommend with like lake trout or pike, bigger fish, having some sort of pliers like this that's a little bit bigger, can get in there a little bit deeper. Just helps get those fish on and off much quicker. Good pot of bait right there. That's what you like to see. It's definitely what these fish are around here chasing. I don't see any fish around it though. Whoa, except for there's one right here coming up. I don't know where that one came from, but I was just watching that pot of fish, and sure enough, this guy feels small. I was just watching that pot of bait. It's like, God, if there's a pot of bait, there should be, hello, there should be fish somewhere close. Sure enough, all of a sudden this one came streaking up. The other thing that is nice is kind of have an idea of how big your leader is. You know, so that way you know, when you see a leader, you know you have 6 feet or 8 feet or 4 feet. That can kind of give you a guideline, especially if you know how much ice there is. That can really be helpful if there's like 3 feet of ice, 2 feet of ice, and you have a 4-foot leader, you know that fish is getting close to the bottom of the hole. Because they do not like to come up, as you can see. Felt small right away, but he's just getting feisty, I think. Yeah, he's not very big, but not tiny either. I don't want to get my gloves wet because that can ruin the rest of the day pretty quick. Actually, not that terrible either. Kind of that par for the course of, you know, mid 25-ish maybe. Tough to say, I'm really not a great judge on trout, but those are super fun nonetheless. You're seeing some of these little bugs, little worms that they're spitting up. I don't know how well you can see that. That's interesting. Show that off right there. Interesting, that's kind of what a few of these have been spitting up. So I'm assuming that means they're hanging around some of those mud transition areas, eating some of those, but again, I am not a trout expert, so I'm not going to speak too much into that. Come on, see it. Oh, another one coming up. Geez, this guy came out of nowhere. Come on, come on. Ah! Swung and missed. Don't ever give up on lake trout, even if you hook them. They can keep coming back. Oh my gosh, this guy. Oh, I love watching these lake trout chase like this. Second one has entered the chat here. See if this one will want it. Oh yeah. Jeez, that guy, he gave no second questions. Does not feel big, but man, I tell you what, these lake trout are so fun. This one is not very big, so I'm not super worried about clearing the bottom of the hole. Because if it gets off, it gets off. But it's so tough to see. Oh, just gonna pull that guy up. Just a littler guy. Pop him off real quick. So nice having that pliers right there. Show him off right here. Show him off right there. Ooh, yeah. Sweet. I also want to just kind of talk through some of my lake trout baits that I like to use. This one that I've been using the most is that Smeltinator Jig and paddle shad. This one is a 1/2 ounce. I moved up to a 1/2 ounce because things were freezing up so much. I just want to get up and down quickly. And you can see this, I went down to a 3.5 inch paddle tail instead of that 4 inch paddle tail. I do like how much little movement that has when you're moving it slow. For some reason, some of these trout, even some of the bigger ones, tend to like those smaller baits. I have no idea why. I think that's pretty much been 99% of what I've been using. I've been using some of these other ones, but I've had pretty good success rate with that. If I see some big mamas down there, I have a big, this is the 4 inch, I think, the bigger size. It's the Predator tube by Northland that they came out with recently, I think. But just a bigger profile bait, bigger tube. I mean, obviously the white tube is one of the most classic lake trout baits. The other one that I have that I've been, using a little bit is a big rattle bait. As you can see, I like white when I'm fishing lake trout. I like rattle baits, especially if I know I'm gonna be fishing an area for a while and I want to make a little noise to try to call those fish in. The last one that I have is a spoon. You can see this one is the thumper spoon. I like something that has a lot of flash, a lot of flutter. I do not use spoons very often, and that is simply because I'm doing a lot of what I'm doing today, and that's running and gunning. And so spoons just take so long to get up and down. If they're slush in the hole, you know, it's tough to get down. They can be so deadly though. If you are fishing even somewhat finicky fish, that flutter on the way down, they'll eat it on the drop. It is such a deadly bait, but I just don't have the patience to fish them. I do have one tied on in case things got really tough. And this rod is the Elliott's the greenback. So this is a 42 inch heavy. And I do have another rod that's the Siskowet. That's another big lake trout rod. I think that one's like 46 inch. And on all these reels, Carbon X2 2000. I will also use a 3000 size, especially if I was gonna go like way up north and target the really big ones where you have a much better chance of catching 40 inchers. Like obviously there's a chance out here, there's giants out here, but I will up to a size like a 3000 size, partially because of the line capacity. You know, I'm using 20 to sometimes even up to like 50 pound braid. And so I want the line capacity for it, but also just having everything a little bit beefier when you're trying to get up and down very quickly. And then I usually have an FG knot. Sometimes I will use a swivel if I have like the rattle bait or some sort of like reaction style bait that's gonna twist a lot. But a lot of times I like using that FG knot just because I can have a longer leader and it can go through the guides very easily. And that's a lot of times a 20 pound. So a little walkthrough of those baits. Haven't seen a fish here for a little bit. So I'll probably fish a little bit longer and then I'm gonna go join Jeff and Kyle. There's a really high one. What is he doing? He's coming to look at my deucer or something. Oh my gosh, he's like right in the hole. He was like literally right in the hole. Oh my gosh, look at this guy. This guy is wild. What the heck? Drop down. Oh, I think he bit. Oh, he hit it on the drop. I can see this one coming up. I think it was coming up to look at, oh man. This guy was like shooting straight up and I think he was coming to look at my transducer. Oh man. That was just wild. That was so cool. Well, we made it. We are here. This is definitely going to be a little different style video, so let me know in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Always looking for your feedback. I like to mix these in every once in a while because I enjoy doing them. I enjoy watching these videos, so I always try to make the videos I watch. But I know it's not my typical, just very short, education-based videos, but hopefully you still enjoyed. Kind of jumped to the ending here because that last hour of fishing was pretty slow, and so not a lot to show. Tell you what, my perspective has definitely changed. I used to never want to leave these trips, but now with baby, with Emery at home, it makes it very hard to be gone. So huge shout out to my wife again for holding down the fort, to my mother-in-law, sister-in-law for helping out. Honestly, I wouldn't be able to do these trips without them. So appreciate that a bunch. Otherwise, we're gonna get on the road. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.